Howdy folks, Kirk and Jay here with another tip of the day. What we're going to do is this little patch here and this little patch, but more importantly, I'm going to do this. I had a guy, he called me about 2 months ago, and he had something very similar. It was a little bit bigger than this, but for the sake of this mud getting hard, because this mud here is Eisenwall, and it has accelerators in it, so it hardens very fast. So I'm gonna hit these two little pieces before I continue with that story. Anyway, the fellow says, do you have any concrete on your truck? And I said, concrete, why? And he says, well, I had that patch done and it came out. I said, well, then whoever done it didn't know what they were doing, and they didn't use the right material. So I said, I'll tell you what, do you actually know what concrete is? And he said, no. I said, well, what we're using is Portland cement and sand. Portland cement and sand make stucco. Portland cement and rocks make concrete. So I was telling the guy he had a whole bunch of rocks just like this. I said I could take those rocks and put them in my mix and come up with a concrete. But why? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll use Eisenwall. So this is Eisenwall. Back when I first started, you had to have a certificate to put this stuff on because it hardens so fast. Jay made this about 10 minutes ago or 5, and it's going to harden very, very fast. So what I'm doing, guys, is trying my best to get this on before it hardens. Yeah, that last fella kind of made me laugh. He says, it keeps coming out. And I thought, well, you're hiring the wrong people to put it in if it's coming out. I said, we're pyramided. And he says, what's that? I said, well, we'll put like in concrete, sometimes they'll have these buttresses. He says, what's a buttress? I said, well, it's kind of where the wall goes straight. Then they have something coming out at a 45 to strengthen it. I said, imagine the Vatican. And he says, what's that? I said, the Vatican, where their walls are 39 feet tall by 10 feet thick, but they have buttresses, kind of like the pyramid. So back when they built that, I guess they didn't know about airplanes, helicopters, or drones that could just fly right over you. That was probably the last thing on their minds. But if you are using stucco and you really want some strength, try Rapid Set from Lowe's or Home Depot. It's the same stuff, except all you do is mix it and add water. This, we mix sand with it because we get this at the Plastering Yards. So the Plastering Yards are like Westside Building Materials in Oakland. They have those yards all over the place. Okay, now I've gone 5 inches thick right here. 6 if you consider the pipe. And yeah, we put a bonding agent over all this. So I'm going to let this set for a few minutes. And do you notice, I just did this and it's already setting. So I'm going to give this 10 minutes. All right, guys, I'll show you the next step. Now, this should have dried in like 5 minutes, 10 max, but it is cold. I mean, I'm doing stuff just to keep moving, cleaning out the truck. So when it's really cold like this, you gotta put a lot of accelerators in it. But I'll show you what we do, guys, to match this finish. Okay, this is smooth trowel. I want this as smooth as possible, so I'm going to just scrape it just a little bit. Now that I got it all pretty, let's see who's the best? You are, Kirk. So we had to wait a little bit because it's cold. In fact, it may rain. Had to check out the clouds. So I want to make this smooth because I want to put a little texture on it. Okay, so texture is going to be a different type of mud, guys. This is La Habra. It's La Habra color finish. Color is not important. It's going to be about that color because it's raw. It doesn't have any color in it. All I'm doing is going to match this texture. So let's see. We're going to just pull it here, pull it up. Here, got to be gentle because I don't want to loosen up what I've already done here. Here, come on now. That story I was talking about earlier about the Vatican walls and being high like a telephone pole. Jay said, "No, Dad, how do you know that?" I said, "Well, when we were young, we used to play this game. It was who can throw the ball as high as a telephone pole." And I was horrible at that game, but I had one guy, buddy of mine, who could throw a ball as high as a telephone pole and catch it. I hated that guy. Actually, I was jealous that because I couldn't do it, but we used to play a lot of goofy games like that. So right here where it's still a little too smooth, I'm putting a little extra texture on it. And I'm going to come back to this right here because it's so cold, guys. It's wet. I'm going to let that set just a hair and hit it again. See that? It's real wet. It's real wet. It's real wet. Let me try that again. Too wet. Okay, let's get on with the texture. About what, 40 degrees, 30 degrees? Come on now. I gotta let that set and then I'm gonna texture it. This you won't be able to see. I'm just gonna do a quick texture on this, although it's not even gonna show up. What do you say, Josh? Did you want to say hi to your son? No? All right, you don't have to do it.
Be showing it, David, what we're doing outside of the house.
Josh is an electrician. A good one, too. He's as good as in electricity as I am in stucco. That's mighty dang good. This is called plaster improvising because the weather is beating us up a little bit. And yeah, I plastered in the snow long time ago. Okay, now that this looks like it's workable, I gotta just barely touch this, like just let the trowel, if I go with any force, then I'm gonna smash it and it ain't gonna match. I'm just using the blade, coming up, just using the blade. Almost dragging it. We're gonna be here another 10 minutes. That's a close enough match. We're gonna be here another 10 minutes anyway. I'm gonna take another peek.
Don't worry about that. Give me a good ending because the camera, it looks fine.
Okay.
Good. You're more critical than the camera is.
Yeah.
So put your trowel back and then just give me an ending.
All right. All right, guys. We thank you for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one.
All right, folks, as always, we want to thank you all for watching. We really appreciate your questions and comments. Please let us know if there's anything you'd like to learn about. And as always, from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one. Okay, well, we're never going to get better than that, so...